Hello, this is Steve Foxon from Resonmonics, and I'm here with, for now, the final tutorial for Reflection 1.6. This time we're going to delve into the depths of Kontakt and show you how to load your own samples so that you can design with those. So the first thing we're going to do is load up the Reflection Init patch, which is included, which is basically no samples. And then click on the little wrench spanner icon. And then we're going to click on the group editor, the mapping editor and wave editor to open up 3 sections that will be very handy whilst working on this. First thing to note is the group editor, which is this section here. Now for Reflection, you only really need to concentrate on these first 3. There are no samples in any of these other layers, any of these other groups. At the moment they are basically for if you want to do round robins. So we're interested just in layer 1 R1, layer 2 R1 and layer 3 R1 at the moment. And what we're going to do is we're going to drag a sample into this little area here. Now what we can do is drag it in accurately on the correct key. So if I say, for example, drag this flute in, which is a D, the near bottom it is, the narrower it becomes. So you want to get right at the bottom so that you're just going onto one key, and we're above the D, and then we let go and it's there. Slightly easier way to do that is to name your file, your sample, with the name of the key. So this C3 flute that I've got, I can just drag in anywhere I want without thinking about it. But then we go here and we click on auto, and it will automatically map that to C3. And of course, if you bring in quite a few samples all named correctly, you can click on auto and it will put it onto all the relevant keys. You can then click this little button next to it, which will expand it out when it's just a single sample to the whole range. When it's multiple samples, it will spread them out between the keys. So if you've got 1 sample per 3 keys, it will spread it out into the 3 keys. Or you can drag left and right here to put it where you want. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to change that to C1. And we're going to change that to C5, basically because we don't really want to go any higher or lower than that. And that is loaded, and in its simplest form this is what it sounds like. That's C3, that's the actual sample that I've loaded, and lower and then higher. But it's basically taking that sample and playing it over the whole keyboard. Whereas most of the samples that come with Reflection, most of the patches have got quite a few sort of 10 to 15 samples that are mapped out over the keys to make it sound a bit better. But you can just, for the purpose of this, just drag in that one, and then I can design that. I can increase the attack, I can increase the release, I can put that velocity on there to my favourite 50. There you go, very nice. Maybe add some delay to that. And some web. Very nice. What you will notice though, especially if we pop in here and take a look at the original sample here in the wave section, is when I play, it just plays to the end of the hops, which is nice. You might quite like that. But what you can do if you want is you can come down and click on this little on and off button next to the loop start, and we get an option now to change the loop start using this here, or you can drag there, and the loop end. So we can, if we alter that, then basically it will play until this point and then loop back to point. What you can hear though is that we do have a click going on. So what you can do there is then come to this third setting here, which is crossfade, and just keep your eye on the start of that. As we drag that up, basically that will then fade from the end of the loop into the start of the loop, and you will hopefully get rid of the click. And your sample is now a continuous loop, and so carry on for as long as you hold the keys down. There we go. So, I mean, we could leave it at that, or we can go in there now and select this second layer and bring something different in. So I'm going to bring in a guitar that I've got, which is also C3. Stretch that out to C1 and C5. Okay, and then we'll solo that out. And we can go in and change the attack on that. If we wanted, or keep it there. And let's maybe go and add convolution to that, but not layer 1. Select one of the reflections. And then what we could do is say go to the third layer, and rather than importing something, do something a little different this time. Go to the second layer, and we're going to highlight that, right click and do copy, and we're going to go to layer 3 and right click and paste. So we now have exactly the same on layer 3. Yeah, soloed out layer 3. But what we're going to do this time is come down the bottom here and click on this little button that says reverse, and as you'll see, the sample will play in reverse. That's quite a long intro, so I think what we can do here is you can use these start and end points for the sample. Obviously the end point, when it's in reverse, becomes the start point. So let's drag that right up and see if that's better. Okay, there we go. So let's maybe up the delay on that. And all three together. So there you go, that's just a very quick tutorial on dragging in your own samples and then designing them. I hope you found that useful. In fact, I hope you found the whole series of these tutorials very useful. Thank you very much. Happy composing. Goodbye.